Now, the Women's Month of August may have come and gone, but women empowerment continues. 25 women-led cooperatives from across the country have been given a boost to manufacture healthcare products and school uniform. The initiative has been set up by the Health and Welfare Sector Education and Training Authority. To help us understand this project better, I'm now joined by the authority's chairperson, Dr. Nomfundo Mnisi. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. An exciting initiative empowering 25 women-led cooperatives. What was the focus of this project?
Good evening, Jane. Good evening to all the listeners. Well, this was to celebrate Women's Month, but it started way back in 2019 when when faced with the pandemic, the COVID-19, we had to, as the SETA, respond by one of the other things, many things that we did by having women, to manufacture masks and as part of assisting in the pandemic. Now we have since sort of winning the battle against COVID, but then the cooperatives are there that we funded during that time, and we saw it fit that we should continue with these cooperatives since they are already there, and we should help them to convert their cooperatives into factories, make them to be a business so that they can make an income for themselves and for the community.
So in terms of the selection process and the training that was required, how did that work?
So the cooperatives were already in existence when they were presented to us. Some of them we engaged with the Department of Economic Development in the Mpumalanga province. Others they applied, they sent their proposals to us, and we saw that this is something that we need. Remember, we are the health and welfare sector. So we are not only interested in the health of the people, but also the welfare. And our facilities, our health facilities, they use a number of things, almost everything. We need the artisans, but in this case, we need the lab coats, and we need the scrubs and all the materials that is there. So we then saw that these people, they are already there, we've already had them, then let us now develop them so that we do not just leave them to be something that was just for COVID, but let them continue to make their cooperatives to be a factory, run it as a business. And we had to now train them. So we provided training for them, provided also stipends for them so that they are able to be able, to get something whilst they are training. We also provided the machinery and the material, basically everything that they needed for them to be able to sew all those the lab coats and the now school uniform that we have just introduced. So that is how we started. And at the moment, we already have the 25 cooperatives in place. And that is at the moment what we are able to cater for.
Yeah. So with the businesses having some of them already underway with work, what are some of the focal areas when it comes to ensuring that there's sufficient training?
So we provided the training ourselves. So we had to link with training providers who will provide the relevant training. So we provided the funding for that, and also we provided the training for the businesses, so that we are the health. However, there are other sitters, there are other organizations that are involved in business. So we were just involved in the funding part of it. Now we will have our some of the employers. We have employers within HWSITA that are linked with us. So they will identify training providers who will then provide the training, and we will just come in to provide the funding and do more especially the monitoring to ensure that our goal is achieved at the end of the day.
So you speak about monitoring. How much time are you going to be giving to monitor these projects, and who will be tasked with ensuring that as much as the factories are producing the products, but there of course needs to be a certain standard of products?
Yes. So each and every province, we have provincial managers that are managing those provinces, and they have in their staff complement, officers. So those officers will be doing the monitoring. For instance, in the cooperation that we were launching on Monday, this past Monday in Ngamhlushwa in Mpumalanga, we have the provincial officer who will be going there to ensure that things are kept are kept the way they're supposed to be, and she will just be doing the monitoring. However, there will be the people who will be doing the training. So with the training, there is a person who facilitates the training, and above that there is a moderator. So it's not just one person who will be doing who gets involved in the training. Now, as to the frequency of the training, at the beginning stages, that becomes like a frequent thing, say on monthly basis. That is how often those co-ops will be visited by our office this time, not the moderator. The facilitators, they will be there on daily basis.
Yes.
But then we will come in just on monthly basis to check that everything is still in place. Then once we're satisfied that everything is in place, then we can now do it on quarterly basis.
These are women-led cooperatives from across rural South Africa, and we've seen what the stats have said about unemployment and poverty, and of course the ammunition that you give to a woman and what happens when it comes to an outcome. So talk to us then about the benefits of this project and the sort of reaction that you've received when it comes to women who are now able to provide for their households.
Well, the benefits are great. You see, each cooperative employs around 30 people. Now, that means that 30 people in that community, and we insist, we enforce that it should be people from that local community. So that means that 30 people from that local community now have something to take home. And then those 30 people, in turn, they are able to at home, when back at home, they're able to do their own stuff. You can, as the neighbor, you can send some uniform, for alterations, which is beyond now the work that they do during the day at the cooperative. And now that is it's not only the 30 people. So it's 30 people in one community and multiplied by 25 that we have across the country. Now, with that, there is now the facilitator who and the training provider. So it will be the facilitator and the moderator who also receive some income from training the people. Then there is the people where they source the material that they use. Also even there we encourage and we enforce that materials should be sourced from the local people, unless there's something that, it's stuff that cannot be sourced within that area, then they can go outside, but still it should be not too far outside. So in that case, we are ensuring that cooperation in that community, it will improve the community in the economy of that area.
Yeah, and in coming closer to the very people that are part of this project, what are some of the heartfelt stories that you've heard in terms of people who can now, have a sense of dignity and be able to provide for their families?
What I can tell you is that the most touching one that I came across was when a person could not even say. They could just say, thank you, and probably not even being able to pronounce the word thank you, and just tears rolling, to say that you don't know how much you have done. And we were there on Monday. It was just thank you, thank you, thank you. And, I must say that sometimes you listen to these people and the way the gratitude that they have, you feel like you're probably overrating it. But when you get down to the bottom of it, you see that now these people have been provided with something that will bring food on the table that was not there. And that is the area. That is the thing that you have seen. We also had an opportunity of meeting the school children that benefited from this cooperation from us as HWCTA, that benefited school uniform. They came there to receive their uniform. And these are school children that come from disadvantaged communities, underprivileged. And they came, this I saw with my own eyes. Most of the kids, they had their shirts, the collars, not in good shape at all. And the excitement that was there, the other one even said he's going to sleep wearing this uniform, waiting for the following day to be school time so that he can go to school with his new school uniform.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing that with us. A fantastic project. That was HWCTA chairperson Dr. Nomfundo Mnisi speaking about a project that is benefiting 25 women-led cooperatives from across rural South Africa. Still to come.